Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Following this year's Olympia, it's definitely going to take me some time to get used to the new bodybuilder rankings, but we're going to start today's video off with officially former Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford. Also, guys, if there's any topic I have not covered from this year's Olympia that you would like me to cover, please let me know in the comment section below. There's just so much to talk about. But back to Derek. Without a doubt, the third place finish at this year's Olympia had to be extremely tough for Derek, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about a reigning Mr. Olympia came in improved and finished in third place. It's not very often that a Mr. Olympia loses the title and doesn't place second. We have a couple of instances like Ronnie Coleman when he tore his lat, Big Ramy recently, Samir Banu. There's a lot of instances, but typically when the champion is beat, he ends up placing in second. And I'm kind of upset by the way the judges did Derek Lunsford. And I'm not saying he should have placed higher than third this year, but honestly, the judging is just extremely inconsistent. Derek did deserve third this year, in my personal opinion, but this really puts into question the decision from last year. You guys gave Derek the Olympia title last year, said he was the best bodybuilder in the world. He comes in improved and now he's third. Last year, Derek didn't have the detail from the front and it was okay, but this year, it's a problem. And I feel like they did the exact same thing to Wesley Vissers. At this year's O, they was like, Wesley, your legs aren't big enough, but they were big enough at both Arnold Classics earlier this year. You guys let me know in the comment section below. Am I going crazy, or is there at least a little inconsistency with today's judging? The only real regression I saw in Derek's physique at this year's O was in the ab and thigh shot. And it's honestly because Derek wasn't hitting a vacuum. He was going for a straight on ab and thigh shot. But I said all of that to say this. Can we just get some consistency with the judging? Again, I'm not saying that Derek should have won this year. He should have placed second. But the reigning champ comes in improved and gets third. How did he even win last year? But switching over into another topic, let's talk about the man, the myth, the Mona Lisa, Andrew Jacked, who promised us that hearts would be broken at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. And there were plenty hearts broken in multiple divisions. But all jokes aside, I'm only ragging on Andrew a little bit because Psycho Lewis commented on my prediction video, seemed to be upset that I placed Andrew in 5th, but guess what? Andrew finished in 5th place. But let's talk about the man himself. That's what's important. So Andrew put this image up and he talked about the issue that went on at finals at this year's Mr. Olympia. In case you guys did not see, Andrew Jack's music came on and they said it was profanity in it, so they switched to another song, and then they switched to a third song, and Andrew basically just looked like he didn't want to pose anymore, so he ended up just hitting a split and walking off. But Andrew said he was really thrown off, and he promises a great posing routine at the 2025 Arnold Classic. And Psycho Lewis recently did a podcast with Muscle Discord and still says that Andrew Jacked was not injured. He actually said that him and Chris Aceto failed Andrew because they were told to bring him in more conditioned, but they brought him in bigger. Interesting. And next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about Hunter Labrada, who was 6th place at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. And as you guys can see, it is quite possible that Hunter brought his absolute best to this show, which was not visible on the live stream. And Hunter was actually ahead of Andrew after prejudging, but Andrew got better for the finals and ended up pulling ahead. I think that Hunter has been one of the most criticized bodybuilders over the past couple of years, outside of Ian Valliere, who is now retired, but I think even the Hunter haters have to give credit where it's due. This guy has just slowly made improvements from year to year and seems to be bringing his best to almost every single show. This guy gets all the criticism in the world and continues to work. Now let's switch over to Classic Physique. This is actually a very tough moment for me. Breon Ainsley and Chris Bumstead, 2 Olympia champions in the Classic Physique division, going at it for one last dance. Unfortunately, Breon never re-entered that top 2 and challenged Chris for the title again. But for you guys that don't know, I got into the sport of bodybuilding when I saw Breon Ainsley. And when I figured out that he just lost his title to Chris Bumstead and he was about to try to win it back, that sold me. I started making videos off of this rivalry, which is absolutely insane. and this is the last time we're gonna get to see these guys pose together on stage. They even did one last elbow battle in the back double bicep for the fans. But Chris Bumstead is definitely gonna be missed from the stage. It was getting a little bit repetitive seeing him win over and over, but it's always great to see a great athlete or great bodybuilder achieve great things, at least in my personal opinion. But Chris said he will be, of course, dumping some of his personal money into the Classic Physique division just to help the division grow more. And staying on the topic of Classic Physique, I mentioned when covering this year's Olympia that Ramon Dino started to fade pretty bad at prejudging, and just in case some of you guys never got to see this, well, here you go. And of course, credit to Breon Ainsley for trying to tell Ramon to wipe it in, rub it in, and just make it look a little bit better. But honestly, when Ramon realized that he wasn't in that top 3 call out, it seems like he just started sweating like crazy. But credit to Breon for trying to help him out. I'm pretty sure Ramon will be back and he will be better. Now next up, also on the topic of Classic Physique, I wanted to talk about Mr. Classic Physique Robert Timms, who looks like he made some tremendous improvements from this year's Texas Pro to the Mr. Olympia. But unfortunately, Robert did not place at this year's Olympia. I'm not going to say that he was extremely overlooked, but there are so many guys in Classic Physique. I just don't believe that the judges are looking at the guys in the 4th call out as much as the guys in the 1st call out. And Robert Timms was in the 4th call out at prejudging, but he has made significant improvements. Robert is an Air Force guy, in case you guys didn't know, and he said he's actually going to be finishing up with the Air Force soon. So Robert should be a little bit more focused on bodybuilding. Huge fan of this guy's physique, and I think he should be placing higher than what he does. At least a little higher, not top 5. And the last topic for today is going to be the 2024 Mr. Olympia Championship rings. Haven't heard many people talking about this, haven't heard much coverage. This is Dexter Jackson's ring. Prior to Samson winning the Mr. Olympia, they brought out Dexter Jackson, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, and I believe also Samir Banu, and presented them with these Mr. Olympia Championship rings. And of course, Samson Dowda got one after winning the title as well. Someone mentioned in my comment section that they wanted to see this, and also I think that it's pretty cool, pretty expensive ring. And I'm not sure if I mentioned, but the Mr. Olympia raised the prize money to $600K on the spot and gifted that to Samson Dowda. But that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. Archives will be back soon. Again, anything you want me to cover from this year's O that I've yet to cover, let me know in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Realistically, we should be able to hit 10,000 subs before the year is over. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.